The bass isn't necessarily trapped to the chords or the drums. Like,
And do you know why, Gene?
why?
Because he used to put the bass on last sometimes, right, Tommy?
That's right. Yeah,
So after he put the bass on, so all the other parts were done, and he knew how he wanted to fill the holes.
Right.
Leaving a big joke open.
You know, I was influenced by a lot of different guys, obviously, but one guy, probably more than anything, and these guys know this, and he never quite got his due 100%, was Ronnie Montrose. And that was probably one of the main ones. And I gotta be honest, you know, Ace is a big influence on me as well, so.
No! Sure!
Eric?
Well, my dad used to take me to see a lot of big bands when I was a kid. Count Basie, all that, Buddy Rich big band, Louis Belzer. So I was more influenced by those guys, probably Buddy Rich the most. And I know I play nothing like him, but still, he's my drum hero.
And Paul?
Jimmy Page. The beauty of Jimmy Page is not only that he's a great guitar player, but also somebody who always plays and pushes his ability to its limits. And he's also an amazing arranger. Always a great producer. Before Zeppelin's album came out, the first one, there was a band by Jeff Beck called Truth. And it was great, but when you heard Led Zeppelin was symphonic. So Jimmy's understanding and creativity has always been just mind-boggling. So he just continues to blow us away and blow everybody away.
That's a great question. Thank you. What is
I
your
want to
name?
add one thing to it about Jimmy Page being a producer. When people think about like George Martin, all these great producers, Jimmy Page never gets mentioned, and he produced all those Zeppelin albums. And he's the guy.
Thank you,
That's a
Eric.
great question. What is your name? Where are you from?
I'm Alex from Tasmania, Australia.
I gotta say, when I was growing up, I thought it was a made-up, you know, I'm fairly well-read, but until I was 12, I thought it was a made-up country. The only way we ever heard of Tasmania was Guess How? You know, that Bugs Bunny thing.
Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, question. If you each had to pick your hidden kiss gem, what song would it be?
Our favorite song or hidden gem?
Hidden gem.
I was gonna say anything for my baby. I've always loved that song. We played it on the Kiss Cruise a couple of years ago, and I love the way, and I'm not just saying this to suck up to him because he's sitting right here, but I love the way Paul sings it. Good, great attitude on that on those vocals in that era of the band, and Dressed to Kill, and Hotter Than Hell. I love the way he sang.
It is interesting to see when the boat rocks, all your heads move at the same time. Like wheat fields, you know. Just, I have no idea. What hidden gems?
I'm not telling you. Well, actually, it's not a hidden gem. My favorite Kiss song is "Do You Love Me." I know it's very simple, but to me, that song always typified the Kiss sound and attitude and style and vibe of what Kiss is about. You know, Gene always said Kiss stands for keep it simple and stupid. You know, like four on the floor. And to me, that's what that song is all about.
Paul?
Craig, I'm still thinking about Craig's imitation. If life is a buffet, then Jesus, you know, you only get one chance. Holy cow!
I'm working on my Eric Singer impression.
Let's hear it.
All right, it sounds like Tracy Morgan.
Hey everybody, I love LeBron James.
A hidden gem, Paul?
I don't really think.
No, it does sound like him. He sounds like a 12-year-old kid, a kid who smokes cigarettes, yeah.
I think gems, gems don't go undiscovered. I think the songs that have kind of sunk to the bottom, apropos being on the ship, but the songs that are forgotten deserve to be forgotten.
And Gene, are there
Cadillac Dreams.
We heard it last night, didn't we? When we were doing the photos last night, Cadillac Dreams came on. And I go, Paul,
Farm gets burned.
wow, you wanted the best.
And you've got the best.
Wanted the best.
And you've got the best.
I've got nasty habits. It's a fine line. So many girls in so little time. When love rears its head, I want to get on your case. I want to put my dog in the fireplace. That's fucking
That
poetry.
sounds like, hello, baby. This is the Big Papa.
Let me see. You know, I was actually
Jay, what's fun
surprised.
about like butter? Like hot and then butter.
Fits like a glove.
Another gem.
That's a gem.
When I go through her, it's just like a hot knife through. You should have been with us when we're recording. They're going, oh boy.
How about no, Gene? That's a.
Not as good as Boomerang. I would say I was surprised actually when we did Quick Song. We rewrote the lyrics and everything, and Ezrin was there. And it was a sad time during the event, but I'm surprised how well God Gave Rock and Roll came out. I still listen to it. I think it's a good version. I'll tell you another one that I think strikes
You know
me
why,
as-
Gene?
Why? Because you were there.
Because that was my first Kiss track.
That's right.
Settle down.
But I would say that the biggest surprise is, quite honestly, I've never been a Ramones fan, but we appeared on a Ramones record, and I thought the version that we did of Rock and Roll Radio, it rocked. I really liked it.
And just to clear the record, that's only Paul, Gene, and I playing on it. Paul did all the leads and all the guitar.
And interesting, Johnny lived down the street from me, and he said to me, he said, that's what we would hope to sound like. He thought the song was just knocked out of the park.
I thought it was cool. And ironically, Bob Ezrin was in the other studio producing Jane's Addiction, and he came over and he goes, oh, I know the saxophone player from Pink Floyd. He had him come down, and I called Derek Sherinian, and he came down and did the keyboards, but it was Paul, Gene, and I that did it.
Wow. Great question. That's great answers. Thank you. What is your name? Where are you from?
I'm Robin Archer, and I'm from Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Right.
Okay, this is a twofold question for each of you. At this stage of your career and your life, you have achieved greatness. In essence, wealth, global notoriety, and a huge fan base following. What are your personal and professional goals from here on out?
Personal, professional goals.
What voice was that, Craig?
I'm sorry, I meant to say.
Personal, professional goals.
What are your personal and professional goals from here on out? Pow!
I can't do that.
Personal, professional goals.
I think we're doing it.
Living it.
Well, look,
Exactly.
let's call for it. When you're, young, dumb, and when you think you got it all figured out. You think it's all about me.
So what's changed?
Welcome to the roast of Gene Simmons, everybody. The roast of Gene.
Gene gets it from me every day. How much did you get it from me, Gene?
Eric,
I got a lot of
didn't you
attention.
just come out with a book? Gene.
Yeah, we incorporated.
That's correct. You have been in first fiduciary. But truthfully, as you get older and you get I never envisioned, I'd be in a family or have kids or have Shine or any of that stuff. And then, when you get to your mature years and stuff like that, you realize it's less about you and more about leaving this place a little bit better than when you came into it. Maybe we should all think of it that way.
Anybody else want to tag on that?
And good night.
All right, good. What is your name and where are you from?
My name's Allison, and I'm from New Jersey.
Also from New Jersey. What is your question?
Which exit?
I can still see the look of horror on my father's face when my Donny Osmond poster came came down and my KISS poster went up. What about your parents? What was their reaction when they saw you guys in full makeup?
Well, you know, every parent's dream is to come and see their son with red lipstick and high heels beating off a guitar on stage. You know, my parents, they learned early. From then on, it was, you know, nothing shocked my parents after a while. I remember once we were talking about somebody I was seeing at one point, and I said, you know, she's blonde and she has big boobs. And my mom goes, they all are blonde. So nothing surprised. Actually, Jean's mom was funny because the first time she saw us, she came backstage afterwards and she said to me, Stan, because my name, Stan, I love the orchestra. Which one were you?
That's actually true. We rehearsed and did a show for the press January 7th, 1974. A few days after we debuted at the Academy of Music, fourth on the bill, before our first record came out. And it was the Fillmore East in New York, and the press was there and a few kids and stuff. And after we played, my mother started to walk down the aisle towards Paul, thinking that was me. And I had to yell, you know, my mother's from Gary and stuff, Mom, over here. And she had to go to the other side. She didn't know which one I was.
Just in case you didn't know ahead of time, Jean's mother used to call me the bum.
She still does.
But this bum made her son very rich, and she likes me very much. So,
Great question.
Yeah, she didn't want me hanging around with him because he didn't have a job.
the bum is on the phone.
Gene was the king, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I called Gene's house once, and I go, "Hey, is Gene? Can I speak to Gene?" And she goes, "The king is on the throne." And I go, "Well, that's very nice, you know. But can I talk to Gene? The king is on the throne." Like, great. You know, is this like, you know, are you giving me some signal? You told me? Oh, okay, now let me speak. I told you the king is on the throne. And finally I figured out he's taking a dump.
What is your name and where are you from?
Hello, I'm Nancy from London, Ontario, Canada.
Nancy, you have a question for the king.
I do. What are the top 3 things from your bucket list that you would like to accomplish, do, or experience before you don't have the capability to do it anymore?
Who?
Anybody.
I want to, you know, I'd like to be blessed enough to see all my children grow and to see what they become, because really as you get older you realize that the best thing you can do is make your children a better version of you, make the world a better place, and there's nothing more important than being a great parent. That's a responsibility we have, and if we're lucky enough, we get to see, you know, it's like you plant a garden, and if you're lucky enough, you see the, you know, what blooms, and nothing gives me more joy than seeing my children daily and watching who they're becoming. Craig, and it's like being at a buffet.
I love my kids.
It sounds more like Pacino than Kiss.
Boy, do I love my kids. Ooh.
What is your name? Oh wait, I'm sorry. Gene, yes.
You can't, you know, say anything after that. It really is about that. Sooner or later, you got to step aside and let someone else take charge of the planet. And you want your kids to do a better job of it than you do.
Agreed. What is your name? Where are you from?
I'm Angie, I'm from Calgary, Canada.
Angie from Calgary. What is your question, Angie?
What's your most memorable and least memorable tour and why?
Most memorable tour, least memorable tour, and why?
Boy, the least memorable is probably also the most memorable. It was the Creatures of the Night tour because nobody was there. So, I mean, so help me, you know, we put out this great album, Creatures, over time has become a real classic. But at the time, it was, you know, we were in a state of turmoil and there was a lot going on in and outside of the band. And we went on tour and were shocked to see empty arenas. And it was a time for us to reassess and trim down all the people we had around us and rethink Kiss. So for me, the Creatures of the Night tour, although it wasn't a happy time, was an important time.
It's worth noting at the same time that hardly anybody showed up in America, we played our largest shows ever in South America, specifically Brazil and Italy. Belo Horizonte and Maracanã and Rio, and there were lots of people, over 100,000 at these shows.
What's your name and where are you from?
Hi, my name is Angel Corville and I'm from Sudbury, Ontario, Canada.
Your name is Jaja?
Angel.
Angel, I beg your pardon.
Joe, what's your question?
It's a question for Gene, Eric, Paul, and Tommy. If each of you could be someone else for one day, who would you be?
Jesus.
It wasn't a reaction.
The day after.
Jesus.
Who said that?
Just wondering, I'm trying to figure out what's going on there.
God.
I know you already are God, so you want to be the son of yourself. Is that what it is? Okay. Just trying to get to the psychology over here.
I'd probably like to be president of the United States just for a day, see what that's like. That's relevant today, obviously. We'll have to see what happens tonight.
Eric? That's going to be anybody?
That's it.
No, not really.
And Paul?
I'm happy.
Good question. Come on up. What is your name and where are you from?
I'm Bob from Rochester, New York.
Rochester in the house. What is your question, Bob?
What's the most embarrassing moment for each of you occurring on stage during a performance?
That's a great question. Most embarrassing moment that happened on stage.
Well, you know, in the
You have a lot, Jim.
Yeah, how long do we have?
How about
in the early days, we literally would play almost every single day. We'd get into a station wagon, we made $75 and then $85 per week. Get into a station wagon, we'd fall asleep, 2 in the back and 2 in the front, and the road manager would drive. It was very tough. And you'd barely have enough, you know, you'd pull over and poop where you could or stuff. And often we'd have to get on stage, just barely make it there, put on the makeup, get on stage on time. So the other people didn't know about it, but I was sure embarrassed. So between having cooties jumping off of my eyebrow, and I think one of you saw it, I literally had crabs for the first time in my life, but they loved me. Oh boy. It was like a field house. They were literally putting makeup on and one of the roadies comes in and said, "What the fuck is that?" It just jumped off your face. And it was a huge. This cootie was so big.
You didn't have crabs, you had lobsters.
This thing had a saddle on it. But literally, I saw it flying off of my eyebrow. So you can tell it was all over my back hairs, between my legs, the gateway to hell. It was all over the place. So now, we barely get on stage on time. And you had to, because we were opening shows and stuff like that. So I think it might have been Thunder Chicken. And I had to go. And you couldn't, there were no drum solos or anything to do that. And so a little bit, you know, groundhog, just a little poop shoot thing, just a skid mark.
a shark?
Yeah, it happened. And of course, we only had one pair of leather outfits, and they had to clean it. And because it was filled with sweat and poop and all that stuff, they had to then dry it, you know, on the, literally on the things that made it hot. What is it in the room? Not the air conditioner, but the heater.
Radiator?
And then the thing would be able to stand up on its own, the leather pants. I'm serious. Then they'd have to put like camel hump, duck butter or whatever to make it soft again. I would smell like not good.
What do you mean, dick?
We should have Gene answer last in every. That's.
We're all gonna leave and go have a bite to eat.
I shit in my pants.
That's the short version.
You know, a couple funny things happened this summer. The Freedom to Rock tour. Gene actually, he fell over on stage and he couldn't get
It's like a turn up.
I had the best
Took four roadies to get it.
I had the best view. It was great from here. I'm like, wow.
Someone's yelling out Montana. Did something happen in Montana?
I think so.
Oh, that's where you fell. Eric, any funny memories, embarrassing moments on stage?
I can't think of anything offhand right now. I mean, looking at Gene is pretty funny most of the time. He's entertaining. I'm telling you.
Well, we heard the story. Paul, any embarrassing moments or funny moments on stage that stand out?
No?
No.
You actually took a spill this tour too.
Yes, I don't think I don't remember any time I ever fell, and this time.
I gotta say, in the corner of my eye, I'm playing, and in the corner of my eye, all of a sudden I see Paul like he's going over.
But I do it cool.
No, you did. I was gonna say, it was the weirdest thing because at first I was like, oh my god, he just fell over and he just looked like he hit his shoulder, but he rolled and he got back. He was right back up again, so it was like very smooth.
Tuck and roll.
Yeah, you know.
And Paul, haven't you gotten stuck over the crowd before?
I started to get stuck. You feel like a piece of laundry, you know. You just kind of, hello, how are you?
Yeah, Anaheim, they both got stuck. I was at the show, 2000. You guys both remember you got stuck coming out? I was in the audience. Gene got stuck about this high of his feet from the stage, and when he flew, and then you went out about 1 foot over the crowd, you got stuck right there. Anaheim, 2000.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That was a great question. Thank you. What is your name? Where are you from?
Pete Trombley, Sudbury, Ontario, Canada.
All right.
I like your shirt.
Great shirt. Great jean shirt. And what is your question?
This question is for each of you. If you were chosen to travel to Mars and could only bring 2 records with you, one Kiss album and one of any other artist, what would these records be?
Go ahead, Gene. You're going to give a long answer. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Paragraph.
Revenge on the White Album.
Good choice, Gene. The White Album's a good choice. I take Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland, and Kiss Dressed to Kill. Kiss album, Gene. Kiss Dressed to Kill.
I would bring Kiss Alive and Led Zeppelin 1.
I would bring Beatles Revolver and Dress to Kill.
Black and Blue.
And Black and Blue. Hold on,
18. Great album. Nasty, nasty, brother.
Nasty.
What is your name? Where are you from?
I produced that.
That's right.
You want Tommy to sign that? Tommy, will you sign that?
Oh, we've got a copy, a very rare copy of a Black and Blue album.
Yes. One of only 2 in existence.
It's true.
Look at this. Somebody should have beaten you up for this.
Tommy, will you sign it for me?
Sure.
You got a pen? Okay.
What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Mike and I'm from Long Island, New York.
All right.
Mike from Strong Island. Mike, what is your question?
How you going?
Hey, how you doing?
This is for all of you guys. So on the Freedom to Rock tour, you performed a really playing song, Flaming Youth, for the first time since '76. Of course, excluded last year's cruise. 2 parts. What did you think of the overall reaction during that song? And did that reaction convince you to play another deep track on the next tour?
Well, we kept playing it for the rest of the tour, so obviously it affected us because we liked it. And what do you think, Paul?
I agree with whatever you said.
I got to be honest here. When we talk about doing songs for the Kiss Cruise, it's like we have to twist their arms to get these guys to do these songs.
Right? Yes. That's Tommy will come up with stuff, or Eric will come up with stuff, and I must be Scrooge. I just go, no friggin' way, no way. But no, Did we do good this tour? And did we do good this set list here? This was cool. There's always somebody who's going to go, oh, you didn't go deep enough, and we try to cover as many bases as possible. So I think I thought this was the best set list done.
What did you guys think of this indoor set list today? Thank you.
We're always concerned, quite honestly, with, hey, let's play something nobody's ever heard. Yeah, but they won't know, and then they'll have to sit on their hands. So that's always the concern of making sure you're happy. So here's a decent question. You've been asking us these questions all night, so give us a sense. What do you think we should be playing in future sets on the cruise? Ladies' room?
All hell's breaking loose?
Nowhere to run!
Nowhere to run.
Nowhere to run.
We just had 4,000 songs.
He said go to hell. Played that last night. You don't want anything. Got one for sale, what do you want to hear?
She says, I want to hear you to sit down.
She said,
Next up, what is your name? Where are you from?
Rockin' USA.
From Mexico. What is your question?
Eric, will I marry you?
We're still in international waters, so you won't get arrested.
She's 22. She's 22.
Oh, you know.
How old are you?
22.
That's
You're good to go, Eric. Very lively.
22.
If you had to perform your last concert, where would you do it and why? And what song would you play?
Last concert. Where would you want to play your last concert?
I would like to play the Vatican. I would. And I would like to end with God Gave Rock and Roll to You. And I would like to see the Pope rock out. And I have a photo, so help me God, of the Pope going like this.
He loved Ronnie James Dio.
Actually, he was saying I love you. That's I love you in sign language.
That is
true.
That's true.
Anybody else? Paul, Tommy, Eric, last show, where would you want to play?
Where would you want to play, Paul? New York, where Kiss is from.
Madison Square Garden. What is your name and where are you from?
John from New Jersey.
John from New Jersey. What is your question, John?
From the beginning of Kiss up until now, is there any song that you could think of that you would change anything about? Maybe write differently today, lyrics, music, etc., as opposed to how it was originally written and recorded?
Wow. I think that when we first started writing, at least for me, the writing came very quickly. And when you don't know the rules, you don't have to follow them. So there were a lot of great songs in the beginning that I wish I could still write like. As time goes by, you learn more about the craft of songwriting. Sometimes it takes away from what you originally had. Songs like Come On and Love Me, those songs were written in probably 20 minutes, and I couldn't do that now for anything. Anything that was on those first bunch of albums, I wouldn't change anything about it. I just think they're terrific.
And to answer, to further go into this for a second, is you didn't think twice about stuff, you just sort of did it. So I wrote a song called Little Lady that was then changed to Going Blind. It was about a guy and this little lady from the land beyond the sea, just words that kind of felt ethereal and stuff. Little lady from the land beneath the sea, and Paul is in the recording studio, while I'm singing, he goes, hey, why don't you say, I'm 93 and you're 16?